Hi guys, it's Yodo again and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about the important elements of great design. And by that I mean what are those things that you look out for in a design that'll make you say, yeah, this is a good design. Now don't get me wrong, there are several things to look out for in a good design. But taking about cognizance of these three things that I'm highlighting today will take your design from zero but real quick. Now let's go. Now, in case you haven't seen my previous video where I spoke about the fundamentals of product design or what it is exactly that product designers do, basically everything you need to know as a new in product design, you find a link in the description below. And if you haven't followed my channel, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Now, going out to today's business, I'll be talking to you about 3 elements of design that you need to master to get a great design. These are color, typography, and visual elements such as pictures, icons, illustrations, etc. Now let's take them one after the other. What is color? Color is one fundamental upon which design is built. Color has a significant impact on our minds. It changes the way we feel about an object within a few seconds, as well as makes us take actions that we wouldn't have normally taken. In a lot of cases, as a product designer working with a company or a brand, there might already be an already existing and specified color scheme that you just have to adopt and follow through. But in other cases, that might not be the case, and you will have to come up with this on your own. This is where your knowledge of color theory and color wheel comes to play. What is color theory? Color theory is both the science and art of using color. It's how the human beings perceive color and visual effects, and how colors mix, match, and contrast with each other. Color theory involves the messages that colors communicate and the method that are used in replicating color. In color theory, colors are organized on the color wheel are grouped into 3 major categories: primary colors, secondary colors, and tertiary colors. Now, primary colors are the original colors that cannot be gotten from any other color. They are red, blue, and yellow. While we have secondary colors and gotten as a mix of 2 primary colors. Tertiary colors, on the other hand, are gotten from a mix of secondary colors and primary colors, or mix of secondary colors. Now, we're choosing color palettes to use for a project. There are a number of schemes out there, but we focus on just 3 of them for all my projects. And these are the monochromatic scheme, the analogous scheme, and the complementary scheme. Now, the monochromatic scheme uses just one color and then uses different shades and tints on it for varieties of the color to create your own color palette. While the analogous scheme uses 3 colors located beside one another on the color wheel. For example, you have orange, yellow, orange, and yellow. This creates a wide spectrum of colors that you can use for your project. Now, for the complementary scheme, this is where 2 opposing pairs on the color wheel are used to create maximum contrast. For example, using blue and yellow on the color wheel. Now, there are some blog posts that I'm attached in the description below that will help you more in understanding color wheel and color theory, and them in the description below. On to the next one, typography. What is typography? Typography involves the use of typefaces and organization of these typefaces to create readable, usable, and user-friendly interfaces. A good use of typography enhances user experience, usability, catching the user's attention, and passes the message effectively. Typography is not just about picking colors or picking the best fonts and their placement. It's the overall visual language that is used to communicate a message on the platform. Now, typography can easily convey a product in such a way that you as a product designer wants them to perceive the product. Now, there are quite a number of typography styles such as serif, sans serif, script, but the major part of your decision is choosing the font that is most legible, readable, and fits the character of the product that you're working on. Now, legibility is mostly determined by the choice of fonts, while readability is determined by the designer when tweaking features such as line spacing and letter spacing variables. Now, when we talk about the kind of product you're working on, a good example is when working on a female fashion website. The most likely we can tailor towards a script font That when you are designing a sneaker brand like Nike, which will most likely go for a Samsung phones like Helvetica or Montserrat. Now, moving on to visual elements such as pictures or illustrations. Now, there's a popular saying that a picture speaks more than 1,000 words. How true that is. Pictures and illustrations are message conveyors that help produce the amount of text that has to be written to pass a message. When using pictures or illustrations, there are two important factors that have to be taken very seriously. Now, that is context and clarity. Now, when we're talking about context, that means the pictures that you are using have to relate directly to what you are trying to pass, the message you are trying to pass. Now, that means you are not going to be using a picture of a map where you are trying to sell a few way. You see, now these things work hand in hand. Now, when talking about clarity, we want to make sure that you are not using low quality images, as this can distract the user, take their attention away from the message you are trying to pass, and make them start focusing on the blurriness of your image. Now, because you are trying to pass a message, the message has to get to the final user, and you have to make sure that these two things are taken care of. Now, combining these three things together, that's these three elements that I spoke about: core, typography, and visual elements such as images, icons, and illustrations. There are four important concepts that need to be carefully considered, and these are contrast, alignment, and white space. Now, hierarchy and contrast go hand in hand because contrast can also be used to show hierarchy. Now, hierarchy simply means order of importance. In layman's terms, the most important thing should be more visible. Now, there are several ways to make something more visible. You can either increase the size, increase the boldness, or change the color. And that is why contrast become hand in hand. Contrast usually refers to the difference in visual properties between the elements used on an interface. It is mostly used to call attention to something and ensure that it doesn't blend into the background. The details of it are not lost in conveying the message. It helps to guide the user's attention and make information more easily distinguishable. That is, when you come on the platform, you can easily see what you want the user to see. Now, a quick example is using a bright text color on a dark background and vice versa. This ensures readability and ease of accessing information. Another good example is using a different color for call to action buttons. This calls attention to an item on the platform and causes one to take action quickly. Now, without enough contrast, interfaces can become confusing and difficult to use, leading to user frustration and decreased engagement. Now, go to the next one, alignment. Alignment in design theory builds order, organization, and as a byproduct from that, successful implementation improves readability. Now, I mean, if you do your alignment very well, things are organized. The result of the successful implementation of that improves readability. It just makes it easy for you to scan through the product on the website, that's the information on the website, without getting lost. Ease of use, because attention lifespan is reduced, it's very, very small, and you want to maximize that little attention time span that you have. So you want to make it easy for users to scan through information on the website and use. Now, on to the last concept that you have to take very seriously: white space. Now, white space is the area or space between design elements. It helps to improve readability and legibility. Now, contrary to the name, white space doesn't have to be white. It can be any color, but it's just a space in your design that you are not using, that elements are not involved in or elements are not inside it. Now, white space is the blank area inside, around, or between the element of design. A good example of white space use is what you have on Mono's website. You can see how elements in the design are given enough breathing room for information to be properly dispersed. Your attention is on one element at a time. You are able to scan through each of them easily. The same thing applies to other parts of their website. Information is condensed to an area, and then there is enough white space around it for you to process actually the information that is being passed on the page. And now that will be all for today's episode of Design with Yodo. But before you go, a brief rundown of what we've done today. that there are several things that you need to take cognizance of when doing a design to ensure that the design comes out great. But 3 of them are of utmost importance: the use of color, use of typography, and use of visual elements such as images, icons, and illustrations. Now, in using these 3 things, there are 3 different concepts that are very important that you have to take cognizance of in combining these 3 things together. One of them is alignment, the second one is the use of white space, and the third one is the use of hierarchy. These 3 will ensure that the user comes to the platform and gets maximum use of the information that is on your platform. Now, I'm sure you've learned a lot of things, and if you found this video insightful, like this video, share with people that you think that might need them,
and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next one.
Peace.